And tomorrow, clouding up, high 58, rain Monday, high 60. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Bill Degger on News Radio 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by Property Divas, LLC. Information on the program is intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio 1020 KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information aired on the following program.
These are the people, the movers and the shakers, the businesses, the people you know in your community who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on the voice of Pittsburgh. News Radio 1020 KDKA.
Yes, this is your Pittsburgh property diva. Lauren Klein is busy today for a Saturday, but husband Chris Klein is here to talk about Pittsburgh Beautiful, and that it is an incredible interactive social media site that really has taken the region by storm, and there are hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people that are following what they do. Why? Because it's everything that is Pittsburgh Beautiful. And here he is, the man behind the brand, Mr. Chris Klein. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Rob.
How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Spectacular. Now, your wife is not here because it's a busy time of year. She's got some new listings. She's got some news when it comes to the the Penguins, and something else, too, that she's very proud to promote. Pets. So fill us in on that stuff, will you?
Well, yes. First of all, Lauren wanted to say hello. It's a busy time of year. We just got back in last night from what feels like being away for months, but she's I don't know if I could ever call her exhausted because she just works so hard all the time, but she's resting and catching up on some work. So anyway, she has some listings, some new listings that she wants me to mention. And I'm reading from notes here, and she does have beautiful handwriting, but you know, she was scribbling them furiously this morning. So I'm going to try the best I can. I'm sorry, honey, if you're listening. She has a listing at 5050 Beach, which is 15 acres. It's a log home. I actually know this listing. I did a drone video for it, and it's a beautiful property, 15 secluded acres out past Murraysville. She has a listing on 120 Kelly Court, which is in Monroeville, and it's a fantastic property. She calls it a gorgeous coastal contemporary. It's actually a brand new home. I also did a drone video and some photography of this home, and it is absolutely gorgeous. That is listed for $399,900. I'll go back. The 5050 Beach property, 15 acres, is listed for $429,900. She wanted me to mention a listing at 2720 William Penn, which is in Churchill, which I also have done some video work at, so I'm familiar with the property. It is a stacked stone villa. It is an absolutely solid home, gorgeous, and it's she calls it classic and expertly crafted, which I would agree 100%. So that's what she wanted me to mention as far as real estate goes. I might as well move on to the other stuff.
Yeah, go right ahead.
She wanted me to talk about the fact that this year, for the Penguin season, she is going to be in their, I don't know if you call it their magazine yearbook or whatever they sell down at PPG Paints. The 2018-2019 season, their yearbook. So if you're at the Pens game and you like to buy those, look for a picture. She's going to be in it. So, and I'm going to mention this now, and then I want to mention it near the end of the show. No? Okay. I'm sorry. My daughter Cecilia's here. Now I've just embarrassed her. So she's handling all the Facebook Live stuff right now. So it probably looks a lot better than when I do it.
She's actually doing a very good job.
Yeah. So great job, Celia. So
or Cece or Rosie
or Ruth.
Ruth. I'm trying to figure out. But she's at that age where they just want to be called whatever they feel like they want to be called.
Yep. I'm dad or father, pretty much.
I'm hey you.
Yeah. So last thing, there is we there's a special spot in our heart for this event. It's a pet adoption event, which is today from 11 to 2 down at the Coldwell Banker office in Murraysville. It's right on Route 22 as you go down the hill into Murraysville on your right-hand side. The address is actually Reed Boulevard, but you can't miss it when you're on 22. There's several shelters that are bringing homeless pets down there, cats and dogs. We're also going to have food trucks down there. We're taking donations. It's a fantastic event. As a matter of fact, last year we ended up adopting our third dog, Spike. Spike, if you're listening, we love you. And but he ended up. I can't tell you, Rob. When you take any pet home, whether it's a new pet from a pet store or something you've picked up that you've adopted, or you've saved,
right?
You're nervous about what am I really getting? You have no idea. There's no way of telling. Let me tell you, Spike, our other two dogs, fast friends. I'm talking like 24 hours. And now I'm not really sure sometimes at night whether I'm in his spot in our bed or he's in my spot. I have no idea. But anyway,
I'm sure he's thinking the same thing.
No, I think he's thinking this is his spot. So anyway, pet adoption event, Murraysville Coldwell Banker today from 11 to 2. It's on Route 22 in Murraysville. Food trucks, quite a few shelters. One last thing I want to mention about this, a very close friend of mine, J.C. McGrean, who owns the dog stop in Monroeville, recently traveled to Korea to save some dogs in Korea that were basically farm animals, these dogs that they eat for meat and they treat them very badly. So he took that journey all the way over to Korea and he brought a bunch of these dogs back. Now, I don't know if they've all been adopted or not at this point, but if any haven't been adopted, they will be down there as well. And they're fantastic dogs. And if JC's listening, I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of the breed, but just very important, wanted to get that in there. He brought those dogs all the way from Korea to find a nice home.
All right, here's what we're going to do. Listen, the guy knows a lot about real estate in the finance aspect of it for many years, and he's got the license. So if you happen to have a real estate question, we can handle it. But because he is here and it's all about Pittsburgh Beautiful, my question is, on this Saturday morning, what do you like about Pittsburgh? What is it that you find beautiful about Pittsburgh? If you want to phone in, we'd love to hear from you. 866-391-1020. Dollar Bank Instant Access, KDKRadio.com, or you can text us on the Red Automotive line, the best deal in town. This is Pittsburgh property diva Lauren Klein working this morning at her other profession and in today hosting her husband, Chris Klein, and we're talking about his brand, Pittsburgh Beautiful. So we'll take your calls and we'll get the latest on what he's doing, where he's been, all of that and more when we get back on this Saturday at KDK Radio. Good morning.
The only way you can take KDKA Radio with you is the radio.com app. Download it today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
This is Pittsburgh, covered by UPMC.
If you're a senior on Medicare, choosing the right health care plan is critical. Tune in Saturday at noon as Pittsburgh Works welcomes MediConnect's Brian Breisinger. What does the next enrollment period mean? What options are available? Ask MediConnect this Saturday at noon on KDKA Radio.
Empowering students, inspiring leaders. Superintendent Brian Troop.
Our mission at the Ephrata Area School District is to have kids reach their full potential, and this program really looks at kids who don't have that model of a college graduating parent to aim even higher than what they think is possible.
Principal Scott Galen.
That 6 weeks of seeing transform the kids' lives. It's been phenomenal to see what they've overcome and have a different outlook on life.
My success starts here.
To learn more about today's public schools, go to successstartshere.org. Sponsored by the Pennsylvania School Boards Association.
That's the power of Bowser.
The power of Bowser Subaru is yours. Shop at BowserSubaru.com anytime, anywhere, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Right now at Bowser Subaru, lease a 2019 Impreza 2.0i automatic with symmetrical all-wheel drive, brake assist, rear vision camera, Starlink, and more for only $155 a month. Model KJB01, MSRP $2,792, 36 months, 10,000 miles per year, $2,999 due at signing, tax, title, and fees not included. Dealer doc fee of $141 applies. No security deposit required. With approved credit through SMFL. Offer ends October 31st. Now that's the power of Bowser.
Well, that's the power of Bowser. Yeah.
Bowser Subaru. Route 51 South on top of the hill.
If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, please call this toll-free number right now, 800-390-9528. That's 800-390-9528. By calling your addiction team, you're taking the first steps to recovery. The help you need could be one call away. 800-390-9528. Make the free call now. 800-390-9528. Your addiction team is a third-party advertiser for various treatment centers and placement networks. Individual results will vary. Visit youraddictionteam.com/terms for more information.
I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's premier home purchase lender. We've created a new way to protect you from unpredictable interest rates. Our exclusive Rate Shield approval. First, we lock your interest rate for up to 90 days. Then, if rates go up, your rate stays locked. But if rates go down, your rate drops. Either way, you win. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year fixed-rate loans. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. Additional conditions or exclusions may apply.
Jefferson Memorial Park invites you to their Pet Remembrance Service Sunday, October 14th from noon to 2 p.m. Held in their Garden of Faithful Friends, they will have a blessing of the pets and a tour of the garden, grief counselors, and more. Open to their families and the community, it's a special way to remember pets that have been laid to rest at Jefferson Memorial and to learn more about their pet services. To RSVP or to find out more, call Jefferson Memorial Park at 412-655-4500.
Call 412-DOCTORS 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Monday through Friday to schedule your same-day specialty and primary care appointments from Allegheny Health Network.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on the voice of Pittsburgh, KDKA.
We are back on Pittsburgh Property Diva. Today, Lauren Klein is working at her real estate profession, of course, Coldwell Banker, Murraysville. Her husband, who has spent many years in that industry, but more importantly, his latest venue has become a huge success, and it continues to grow leaps and bounds every day. Why? Because it shows the best parts of this great city of neighborhoods that we love. Chris Klein is here at Pittsburgh Beautiful. My question is, what do you love about Pittsburgh? At 866-391-1020. Dollar Bank Instant Access, KDKRadio.com. You can text us on the Red Automotive line, the best deal in town. Next hour, we get back to more open talk, talking about the significance of the midterm election and how it could change the face of the job shelf as far as middle-class manufacturing jobs for the next 25 years. So we're going to discuss that next hour. But this hour, along with some real estate, if you want to phone in, we can do that. But Pittsburgh is beautiful, and you continue to get out and about. So what have you been doing lately, Chris?
I feel like I've been doing a lot. There's last weekend, actually, we helped to promote Doors Open Pittsburgh. And this is kind of in the past, but it was last weekend, and that's a fantastic event. It gives the people of Pittsburgh, Western Pennsylvania, an opportunity to visit on a weekend a lot of these older historic buildings, and some of them are newer and modern, but they get a chance for a behind-the-scenes tour of a lot of these buildings over the weekend. I took my daughter Celia to this. We had a great time, took a lot of pictures. We actually ended up walking most of the north side, which I had never done, and it was a lot of fun. But we saw places like the New Hazlet Theater. There was a Calvary United Methodist Church, right? And what else did we see? The Alphabet City building, which is now called City of Asylum, which is a really cool place. It's got a great little restaurant in it, a library, and it's like a gathering place for artists. This is all just on the north side. Stopped by the Priory for a little bit. I had actually never been in the Priory, and that place
I've been there.
Huge.
It's nice.
It's huge.
Beautiful.
Yeah, huge.
And you got Mexican War Street, which really was the first wave of what we've seen happen to places like Lawrenceville and, the cork factory downtown, what have you.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
A lot on the North Shore.
It was so that event was fantastic, and you're right about walking the Mexican War Streets, the architecture, the homes on that side. I was in a teaching moment, trying to teach Celia a little bit about where we were and how the north side actually was years and years ago a city called Allegheny City,
right,
and it became part of Pittsburgh. And at the time, it was the third largest city in Pennsylvania. Now, we're talking in the 1800s, but, these are the kinds of things that really make, I think, what I do with Pittsburgh Beautiful so interesting is that you just can't get enough of the history of Pittsburgh. And as you dig deep into it and you walk through these neighborhoods and go to these events like Doors Open Pittsburgh, and immerse yourself in things that you never knew existed, it starts to draw more and more out. And that's what I love about what I do with Pittsburgh Beautiful, is that there's so many people that grab a hold of this and enjoy it, and then contribute their own information, their own stories, their own pictures. And it's spreading and it's growing, and I just couldn't be more grateful for that. And there's one thing I wanted to mention about the Doors Open Pittsburgh. There's 2 churches on 6th Avenue downtown, right across from the Duquesne Club. And, you drive by them. How many times in your life have you driven by them? And I'm one of those people. And I got to go into First Presbyterian Church. It was part of Doors Open Pittsburgh. And what an incredible building. As soon as you walk in there, you forget that you're even in a city. It's like you look at it from the outside and it's big and it's a church, but it's surrounded by these skyscrapers. And then you walk in and you look at the structure, and I had a chance to 3D scan it. They were gracious enough to let me do that, but it was just incredible. And so that event next year, they haven't announced the date, but Doors Open Pittsburgh, if you haven't attended it, they sell general event tickets. They're very inexpensive. They've got to pay for this somehow. We've had people ask, why isn't it free and all that kind of stuff. Well, look, there's people that donate a lot of time and a lot of effort. I mean, the coordination of this kind of thing is just ridiculous. I know the woman, Bonnie, who coordinates it, who runs it, and it's a passion for her. So anyway, the tickets are inexpensive. It's a great way to get out with the family on a weekend and do something. So that's part of what I've been up to. Recently, if you go to our website, pittsburghbeautiful.com, Phipps this is their 125th year, right, believe it or not. And one of my writers, Zeke, attended because Lauren and I were out of town. He attended, I guess you would call it the unveiling of the Palm Court restoration a couple days back, and he wrote a piece on it. It's on pittsburghbeautiful.com. Their 125th celebration gala is Thursday night. I actually have something already planned, but I think we may have some people from Pittsburgh Beautiful there. They've invited us there. But Phipps, what an incredible institution, we have here, and the history there. You can find it on pittsburghbeautiful.com. You can, of course, go to Phipps's website to see this kind of stuff. But I did not know that 25, 30 years ago that Phipps was in trouble. I didn't know that. And by Zeke going to this event, I guess the mayor was speaking there and he was talking about it. I guess, and I'm going to research this a little bit more, so I apologize to anybody who knows the history because I don't, but I had no idea that Phipps had fallen on some hard times, and Mayor Sophie Maslov had stepped in, I guess, and was instrumental in helping to revive that and keep them around. And, thank goodness for that, because it has grown into one of the most incredible places. So those are just a few of the things that we've been up to here. But as always, people are sharing thousands of photos on our Facebook page, on our Instagram page, and I do everything I can to try to reshare those, because it's really about what everybody thinks is beautiful about the Pittsburgh area.
Here's what you have to understand about Pittsburgh, and I was talking about this in the first hour today because I was trying to make people understand why this election is so significant as far as creating jobs over the next 25 years. We were at one time as big as Silicon Valley, where, of course, Microsoft and Apple have made their name. And we all know and we've heard stories about the population growth and the growth in real estate, commercial buildings, and, of course, wondering where Amazon's next headquarters is going to be. Apple, they too, looking for another location for their second headquarters, and what it would do to really jumpstart the economy, obviously, right? Well, when you go back to the industrial age, people like George Westinghouse, Andrew Carnegie, Henry Clay Frick, J.P. Morgan, Grand Street was like Wall Street. It was as important as the Bulls and Bears are in New York here in Pittsburgh. These barons really set the stage, and you were talking about opening doors. We opened doors for many businesses that spread across this great country, And it all started right here. A lot of urban living, people living downtown. You were talking about the North Shore, one time known as Allegheny, the great history of the Allegheny General Hospital. Some of the most important things in the history of medicine began there. And as you walk from their garage, the Western Avenue, and of course along Federal Street, if you walk in, there are certain corridors at the hospital that have pictures that will take you through a timeline, and it will show you the significance of medicine and what they did and how it started. But those names that I mentioned just moments ago are still a big part of who we all are. Carnegie Library, Carnegie Museums. So I think people need to understand, a lot of folks are seeing, and the mayor is out there kind of leading the charge, this resurgence, if you will, this renaissance, which goes back to Sophie Masloff and Richard Caligiuri. And it's just an amazing place to be. And I think because of what you're doing, people are having a chance to see Pittsburgh in places that they haven't seen in a long time, like a Phipps Conservatory, that they're saying, still there, still shining, still Pittsburgh beautiful.
Yeah, I agree with you. And you know, the thing about Phipps is growing, and you know, they've taken a lead on having green and sustainable architecture, and they've really become an example for a lot of other institutions, and I think even some corporations looking to construct buildings and gardens and things like that. They've actually turned to Phipps, from what I understand, for some help on this and a little bit of a lead on this. And you know, that's Pittsburgh still innovating,
right? And
I think, you know, yes, there was a time when, you know, things looked bad, and the city and the region, and I have to highlight this all the time. You know, Pittsburgh Beautiful is not just about the city of Pittsburgh; it's about the region. So,
all right, what we're going to do, we're going to take a short break, and I'm going to, you know, Murraysville, of course, Caldwell Banker, and I'm going to tell you about a significant individual who has been a big part of the landscape of business in Pittsburgh, who happens to be joining us later today on KDKA Radio. And I'm going to kind of tie in a lot of the things that Chris is talking about and why Pittsburgh has reclaimed its beauty and is continuing to grow like all of those beautiful flowers at Phipps. So I hope you'll stick around for that. But again, what do you find Pittsburgh to be so beautiful about? Maybe a location, a thing, certain heritage, a different community. I mean, after all, the city of neighborhoods, it doesn't get any better from the North Shore to literally any place in the city of Pittsburgh, the heart, the Golden Triangle, you name it, Bloomfield, the South Side. Absolutely great. We'll be back. Stay with us.
I don't know what I'm hearing more, commercials for politicians or replacement window companies.
It's definitely the season for both. Hi, John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company.
We can't help you with your political decisions, but if you're in the market for replacement windows, we need to talk.
Metropolitan has been serving the greater Pittsburgh region for 40 years.
We're a family-owned business with A+ ratings.
And we're the only replacement window company in the area that carries the Infinity from Marvin fiberglass window.
Fiberglass windows are 8 times stronger than vinyl, so the frames are slimmer and much more attractive.
Fiberglass is a much better insulator than vinyl.
And fiberglass won't warp or bow like vinyl.
Best of all, we have a big fall promotion. You can save $140 on every new window, plus get 18-month no-interest financing.
We're on the web at metropolitanwindows.com.
Our design center is on Route 51 in Whitehall, and there's a showroom on Route 19 in Wexford.
Or just call 1-800-655-8411. PA 1565.
Some of your fall picks are ripe for the picking right now at Coons Market. Isn't that right, Joe Dentisi?
Right, Robin. Our meat departments. Choice semi-bonus New York strip steaks, $6.99 a pound. Choice bonus top round roast, $3.59 a pound. All natural Chairman's Reserve whole pork tenderloins, $3.59 a pound. In our produce departments, sweet navel oranges, 3-pound bag for $2.99. Assorted varieties of Eastern Select apples, 3-pound bag for $2.99. In our delis, Boar's Head Oven Gold turkey breast, $7.99 a pound. In our prepared foods, Tuscany bean salad, $4.99 a pound. In our bakeries, 8-inch round German chocolate cake, $8.99 each. Cream cheese-filled pumpkin rolls, $6.99 each. In our seafood departments, fresh wild-caught monkfish fillets, $9.99 a pound. This week, Hagen ice cream, 48-ounce cartons, 2 for $5.
Happening right now at one of your 9 neighborhood Coons Markets. How do you find the one nearest you? Click on coonsmarket.com.
We're News.
A man is hospitalized after being shot early this morning in New...
City officials say it could be weeks before all lanes of Grand Street and...
This White House is in a constant state of chaos.
We're weather.
Pouring to our east, we expect a shower or two with cloudiness, high 64.
We're traffic.
About 51 heavy from the Corliss tunnels.
We're talk.
And we are so concerned about everybody being treated the same that kids won't know how to succeed or fail.
Degrading people as much as you want. That's not freedom of speech.
We're KDKA.
KDKA Pittsburgh.
From the Chapin Luhana Law Firm Studios, this is the voice of Pittsburgh. News from KDKA Radio now.
CBS News Update. Shocking revelations in the case of missing, presumed murdered Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi.
The Turkish newspaper Sabah reports Khashoggi's own Apple Watch recorded his interrogation, torture, and murder at the Saudi Arabian embassy in Istanbul.
That's CBS's Anthony Mason. Correspondent Leslie Stahl asking President Trump.
Jared, your son-in-law, got on the phone and asked the prince. Did he deny it?
They deny it. They deny it every way you can imagine.
Stahl's complete interview with the president about this on CBS 60 Minutes tomorrow night. CBS News correspondent Major Garrett.
While the Saudi government has denied involvement, saying Khashoggi left the consulate on his own, the case has severely tested the Trump administration's close relationship with the Saudi government and its powerful de facto ruler, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman.
Some major global businesses now distancing themselves from Saudi Arabia. CBS News Update. I'm Jim Taylor.
Get the most for your valuables. Come to Treasure Hunt. We buy United States gold, old and modern, from $1 to $10 and $20 gold pieces. We also buy gold, silver, and platinum bullion coins and bars, U.S. and worldwide. Our friendly, well-trained staff is always ready to help with no appointment necessary. Stop in to experience the Treasure Hunt difference. Visit one of our 8 locations today. Treasure Hunt. No one treats you better.
Harness your luck on Super High Five, now at the Meadows Racetrack in Washington, PA. A daily wager on world-class harness racing where winner takes all. Pick the first 5 finishers of the Super High Five race in the exact order they cross the finish line. If you're the only correct ticket, you win the entire jackpot. No winner or multiple winners, and the jackpot keeps growing. Join us at Meadows Racing for the Super High Five. Live harness racing every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Super Saturday starting at 1. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You know the moment. The homework and dishes are done. Your family responsibilities have been met. The shoes slip off and you lie back. It's that end of day, That's the relief you'll feel when you rest on the body comforting orthopedic, made locally at the Original Mattress Factory. Relief from middleman markups and a hard day's work. The Original Mattress Factory. Thoughtfully made, honestly priced. OriginalMattress.com.
Great beds, no bull. That is the Original Mattress Factory difference. Quality products plus factory direct prices equals great value. Mattresses that are designed with better materials. Mattresses that are hand-built in local factories. Mattresses that cost hundreds less than the mainstream mattress brands. Now I know what you're thinking. This all sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it isn't. Stop by one of our factory locations or visit us at originalmattress.com to see the OMF difference for yourself. The Original Mattress Factory. Thoughtfully made, honestly priced.
Sunday mornings on Newsradio 1020 KDKA from 8 to 9 a.m. It's the Coons Cooking Hour. Rob Pratt, Joe Dentisi, and their guests share mouth-watering recipes and valuable cooking tips. Start the week with great meal ideas and thought-provoking discussions with the Coons Cooking Hour.
Now here's the up-to-the-minute AccuWeather forecast.
In the wake of the rain that fell last night, we'll see clouds breaking for some sunshine today. Will be rather chilly, high near 50. A few clouds around tonight, patchy frost in outlying areas, low 37. Will be mainly cloudy tomorrow, high 58, then rainy on Monday, a high of 60. For AccuWeather, I'm Bill Degger on News Radio 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by Property Divas, LLC.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on the voice of Pittsburgh, KDKA.
Yes, Pittsburgh is beautiful. It's Rob Pratt along with Chris Klein, the man behind Pittsburgh Beautiful. Normally, of course, Pittsburgh property diva Lauren Klein talking real estate this hour, but she is out working today, so he is here working in studio. And as I alluded to going into the bottom of the hour, coming up on the Raja Show, Bob Brooks, investor in the Pirates and, of course, Westinghouse Air Brake, very successful businessman, entrepreneur, plugged into real estate, obviously many properties, but a guy who continues to give back and continues to take great strides because of the place that he loves, so much so that he's running for District 54 state representative. But Murraysville is a unique place, and that's one of the early suburbs after the initial rush of what Pittsburgh was like in the turn of the 20th century, and obviously for most of that century was a thriving metropolis. Thus, you had a lot of these suburbs that started to pop up north, south, east, and west of the city. But why do you think, Chris, people are starting to migrate back to Pittsburgh to live in downtown and the city of Pittsburgh? Obviously because of Pittsburgh's beautiful, but I think people realized if it ain't broke, don't fix it. There was something there then, so why not start utilizing these resources? One time, over 30 corporations actually within the city of Pittsburgh. A lot of them are coming back, a lot of them from the world of technology, people like Google and others. So I think people are finally starting to recognize the sheer beauty of the landscape and what Pittsburgh has to offer.
Yeah, I think you're right, Rob. I mean, it's almost cliche-like to say that because we've been talking about it for years. You know, Pittsburgh has great universities, an incredible technical base. From a financial standpoint, you know, you've got institutions like PNC Bank that have been here for a long time. You know, the roots have always been here. So it's almost as if when the steel industry and manufacturing declined, it was almost as if, you know, you would cut the trunk off of the tree, but the tree is growing back. I think what's always been special about Pittsburgh from the very beginning of this area as an outlying frontier town in the 1700s, a fort, you know, I think what's been really special is just the basic heart of the region and the people, and it grew into something extremely important in this country's history. And then, as with all, and I talk about this when I talk about the Steelers with my friends. Every NFL team goes through cycles. You know, you have a few years where you're good, and then your quarterback goes, and you know maybe your defense kind of slides, your drafting isn't as good, and then next thing you know you're not doing very well, and then you turn that around, and that's, you know, it's an odd way to look at it, but I think this region, really the heart of this region, the people of this region are what make it most beautiful, and the fact that they never gave up.
Well, and we also have families like the Rooneys who are really one of us and happen to be the person or the group behind the Steelers. You have Mr. Lemieux, obviously the Nutting family, McClatchy before him, who still lives in this part of Western Pennsylvania throughout most of the year. So, yeah, it's a special place. But, you know, I know out west in Silicon Valley, Steve Jobs, the late, great Steve Jobs, an incredible innovator, people like Bill Gates, Paul Allen, all these names pop up. But I think it's safe to say I would be hard-pressed to find any place anywhere in the world where you had at one time such an eclectic group, as I mentioned, Westinghouse, Carnegie, Frick, Morgan, of course, Thomas Edison, General Electric. I don't know if there was ever been a group of individuals at one time all together striving and being innovative enough to where they were not just changing precedent across the country, but throughout the world. And Pittsburgh is now finding its way back to that legacy and grabbing hold of their history and heritage. And I think that's why Pittsburgh has made such a big splash. And you got to give government credit, too, along with the Allegheny County Chief Executive Rich Fitzgerald, who came from an industrial background. So it just seems that this recipe is really working right now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and in talking about all of that, all those names you mentioned in the past, and then bringing that into the future and talking about Silicon Valley, I think here in Pittsburgh that we're on the brink of having another set of those names, because there are a lot of startups, there are a lot of tech companies that are here, and if the reason that they come here at this point, other than the things I already mentioned, is you know, there's some basic economics at play as well. You know, go buy a house in Silicon Valley,
right?
Okay, I mean,
price tag's a little different.
Who can afford that? Yeah, I mean, it's
Bill Gates.
It's actually right,
yeah.
Right, which is why he's in Seattle, but
right.
Close enough. Buy a house in Seattle, you know? I mean, if we want to tilt this a little bit back towards real estate, and talk a little bit about that.
Why do you think it is, from a guy who dealt in finance, a card-carrying member of this great organization that is the Real Estate Professionals, the multi-list, everything that we talk about every week, why do you think we've been able to have such a huge bump as far as the economy, shovels in the dirt, infrastructure, lots of things taking place? There's still that big political divide, obviously, coming off the 2016 election, midterm elections coming up. But the housing market has really remained more than competitive. Why do you think that is?
I mean, if you're talking on a national level, or are you talking here in Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Well, I think there's two very basic reasons. I mean, first of all, the affordability of living here. You know, the cost of living. Now, I know, and like anybody else, if I'm out to dinner with friends or, you know, sitting around with the guys, where does the conversation go? It goes to politics, taxes, you know, what do things cost and all that. So I get it. I mean, you can make that argument just about anywhere. I mean, show me a tax-free environment, okay? It just doesn't exist.
No.
And it's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. But on a sheer scale of affordability of housing in this town, even in the areas where you have seen some incredible appreciation for Pittsburgh, because we do get this a lot. Oh, you know, try to buy a house here. It used to cost this, now it costs that. Comparatively, it is still incredibly affordable to live in a neighborhood anywhere around this region. If you're going to compare it to, you know, what's funny, almost any other city in the country right now. I mean, there are some other cities that have some pockets, but just the sheer affordability of what's going on. And speaking from from our backyard out in the east,
which is a significant part of Pittsburgh, that first suburb with, of course, East Pittsburgh and Westinghouse and Turtle Creek.
Right.
These places are essential Forest Hills to the
yeah.
growth of Pittsburgh, and they have come back full cycle.
Oh, yeah. And the surprising thing to me about the region and housing in the region is that area is so incredibly affordable as compared to some of the other areas in Pittsburgh that I think, and I'm just making a prediction here that could be wrong, but I think you're going to see that area really start to move soon, because you're talking, you know, like you just mentioned, Forest Hills. What an incredible! I mean, I drove through the streets of Forest Hills the other day, and this is no disrespect meant to Mount Lebanon. I love Mount Lebanon. It's a beautiful area. There's actually no area of Pittsburgh I don't think is beautiful, no matter what.
Mount Lebanon's Mount Lebanon.
Mount Lebanon is beautiful. So.
Right.
I'm doing a drone for a home that my wife had listed that she sold right away. I have to brag that way. So it sold like within 2 days.
She's good.
Well, I'd like to think it was because of the drone video, but actually I think it was because of her. But anyway, long story short, I'm looking around this street tucked in the hills, in Forest Hills, and I'm thinking to myself, I can't believe that you can have this beautiful neighborhood with these brick Tudors and old stone homes and tree-lined streets, and that the prices here are what they are. So I took a quick video and did an Instagram story, and you can do polls on Instagram. So I took a quick video of just the street, and I put a poll on that said, is this Mount Lebanon or is this Forest Hills? You know, 70% of the people guessed it was Mount Lebanon.
That's a compliment.
Well, it's because it looks like Mount Lebanon. Yeah, I mean, it's Forest Hills. So let's not get. I don't want anybody to get mad at me.
Let me just tell you this, and we're going to take a break and come back and wrap up there. But please check out Pittsburgh Beautiful and see what he is showing to everyone and the world via social media. Chris Klein. And if you're thinking real estate, think Lauren Klein, Coldwell Banker, Murraysville. But when you think of Shadyside, Squirrel Hill, Rankin, Swissville, all of the Braddock, and we've seen what John Fetterman has done there. I mean, there is so much good. And it's funny, everything that is new really came from that rich past, of course, that East Pittsburgh, that first major suburb. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think you're going to see a lot more Pittsburgh beautiful in years to come. And I think one of the most beautiful ways to make it beautiful and continue to be just that is to create more jobs. And as he mentioned, a lot of these startup companies are doing just that. Short break. We'll be back. Chris Klein is in today for Lauren Klein. This is the Pittsburgh Property Diva on KDKA Radio. Good morning.
Get to work with Larry Richards, John Shumway, and the KDKA Morning News.
Good morning.
News, weather, traffic, sports, everything you need and something extra. The KDKA Morning News. Weekdays 5 to 9 from Newsradio 1020 KDKA.
Why do I get my flu shot at Giant Eagle Pharmacy every year? Because up to 1 in 5 people will suffer with the flu this season. And staying healthy is very important. Because I'm not just a wife or a mom. I'm also a Giant Eagle pharmacist that cares for you and our community.
Count on your neighborhood Giant Eagle pharmacist for your flu shot this season and earn $5 in free groceries. Giant Eagle Pharmacy, your trusted pharmacy for over 30 years. Certain restrictions apply. See pharmacy for details.
Introductory loan rates come and go. They seem like a good deal, but then you're left either making higher loan payments or looking for another intro loan rate. It's time to upgrade your home equity line of credit. Dollar Bank can give you something that'll last. Prime minus 0.76% for the life of your line. That's right, for the life of your line, your rate will be 0.76% lower than the prime rate. Right now, that's 4.24% APR, and your minimum loan amount to get this great rate? Only $25,000. So when your intro loan rate expires, what will your rate jump to? Compare and see. Upgrade to a better home equity line of credit and save money. Prime minus 0.76% for only a $25,000 minimum line amount. Talk to the loan experts at Dollar Bank. They're not paid a commission and will focus on providing the right loan for you. Visit us online at dollar.bank, or for details on costs, call 1-800-242-BANK or stop by. Rate is variable and for well-qualified borrowers and includes a discount with a maintained qualifying checking account. Not available for the refinance of a Dollar Bank loan, line, or mortgage of less than $15,000 in new money. Subject to change without notice and approval under Dollar Bank underwriting guidelines. Equal housing lender.
It's time. Time to join the millions of people that meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Zoom gives you flawless video, crystal clear audio, and instant sharing across any mobile, tablet, or desktop device. But the best thing about Zoom? It just works. So ditch the distractions, join the movement, and meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Visit zoom.us to set up your free account today. That's zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
I used to post to job boards only to be overwhelmed with resumes,
which made it easy to miss a great candidate.
That old process was
not smart. Then I went to ZipRecruiter.
Its technology finds the right people
and actively invites them to apply.
So I get qualified candidates fast. Smart.
See why ZipRecruiter is rated #1 by employers in the U.S. Try it now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Based on Trustpilot rating of hiring sites with over 1,000 reviews.
Toten's Diner in Wexford, home of the 58-ounce prime rib. Hello, I'm Jimmy Toten. Stop by for dinner and try some of our homemade favorites. Stuffed cabbage, beef stroganoff, stuffed peppers, and liver and onions. Your kids are back to school and you're always busy, and you want to serve your family home-cooked food. Let Toten's Diner help. Eat in, take out, and delivery. Open 7 days a week. Toten's Diner. Home cooking, Pittsburgh style.
Eric from Leechburg shares his experience with NASCO Roofing.
Excellent. Customer service was fabulous. They were unbelievable from start to finish.
Call 412-373-2000. Owens Corning and NASCO Roofing, a winning combination. NASCO.
This is Richard Bazzi inviting you to get Schultz-defied at schultzford.com.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on the voice of Pittsburgh, KDKA.
All right, we're back. KDKA Radio, your Saturday with Rob Pratt. And this hour, Pittsburgh property diva Lauren Klein. She's out selling a house, I'm sure. Coldwell Banker Murray's with her husband, Chris Klein. Many years, the financial aspect, broker, mortgages, things of that nature in real estate. He has his license, so he knows all about the great profession that he's been a big part of for decades, along with his wife. But he also is the person behind Pittsburgh Beautiful, something he started really from the heart to give back, to show the great city that they love so much. So we're going to throw it over to him and let him just talk for a couple of minutes about what he is doing at Pittsburgh Beautiful and how he sees this thing unfolding. And next hour, we're going to get back to your phone calls and pick up on my topic of conversation from yesterday, noon to 3, and this morning. And we're going to roll right through this up until Tuesday night, when we're actually going to be talking politics in the 9 o'clock hour with a former head of the Republican Party in Allegheny County, the first chief executive in Allegheny County, Jim Roddy, will join me, and also Dr. Terry Madonna from the Polling Center in Lancaster at Franklin and Marshall. But it's going to be about the significance of this midterm election and what it means for jobs, not just in the immediate future, but the next 25 years, and why you need to really put some thought into it. So that's coming up next hour. But right now, let's get back to Chris and get all the details on what's happening and what is going to be happening with Pittsburgh Beautiful. Chris?
Thanks, Rob. First of all, I say this all the time on my live videos that I do with people. I want to thank everybody that follows Pittsburgh Beautiful, and everybody that contributes, and everybody that loves this great region. Because without that, we wouldn't have Pittsburgh Beautiful online. So, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Every day is a beautiful day for me because I get to be involved in something like this. So, that being said, I'd like people to go to the website. Pardon me. We one of our writers. Well, we have 3 writers for Pittsburgh Beautiful: Kate, David, and Zeke. And they specialize in different things, but sometimes they cross over and do other stuff. David is our sports writer. Zeke is the music guy. Kate does a lot of the lists and things. So if you go to our blog at pittsburghbeautiful.com, it's really easy to find. We put up a lot of lists about Pittsburgh, things that we think are beautiful. And one of them that I really love is Pittsburgh from A to Z, what's beautiful. And Kate goes right down the alphabet, A, B, C, all the way down to Z. And what I encourage people to do is comment on these articles and comment on our Facebook page and on our Instagram if you're into Instagram. Comment on there. Tell us what you think is beautiful about Pittsburgh and show us what you think. Send in a picture of you and your family enjoying a nice day down at the Point or enjoying a canoe ride up at Moraine State Park. Send us a picture of a beautiful sunset. Love those pictures. You'd be surprised how many photographers are up on Mount Washington every single morning looking for that perfect shot. And even though we've seen a million of them, each one of them is special in its own way. So I really want to encourage people to share what's beautiful about their city. While we're on Facebook Live right now, and we stream live, we stream this show when Lauren's here, and obviously when I'm here, we stream it to a minimum of 3 or 4 different Facebook pages, Periscope, YouTube, and all that. But just to give you an idea, I'm looking at Facebook Live right now, and we have somebody from Czechoslovakia watching, so who is a former Pittsburgher and loves the city. So we get people from all over the world, not just this area, that love Pittsburgh. And my daughter Celia is laughing at me. I have no idea why, but I think she just thinks I'm funny. Passion is funny, isn't it? It's great. It's great stuff. But as far as what's coming up, we are expanding our live videos. We recently did a live video at the Pittsburgh Oktoberfest, which was up at the Big Butler Fairgrounds. What a great event that was. We're going to be doing some live video actually with Mercer County coming up here soon, a little wine tour. You'll get to see that on Facebook. And we're doing a lot of outreach with a lot of different institutions around town. We work with Phipps. We work with University of Pittsburgh. They're going to get really mad at me. UP Stages, it's called. That's their theater department. So we're putting some of their plays on and promoting a little bit of that. And we're working with Allegheny County right now to promote some of the activities at their parks and stuff. So, there's a lot of great things happening, and there's a lot of great things to come. And we're looking forward to expanding Pittsburgh Beautiful to really cover everything that is beautiful, sports-wise, business-wise, restaurants, people. And one last thing. I know you're going to give me the old, it's time to wrap it up, Chris, because that just happens to me all the time, even at home, actually. I think Lauren started doing that now. But
you're actually on time to this week.
Oh, okay. All right, good.
Take your time.
All right. We are going to have a yearly publication of Pittsburgh Beautiful, a coffee, basically, it's not a magazine, a coffee table book. At the end of every year, that publication is going to feature what has been beautiful about Pittsburgh in the previous year. So we're working on that. We're going to have that out. Hopefully the first edition will be out at the end of 2019. And I'm really excited about that because that gives people a way to it's a conversation piece. And like I said, I'm working with somebody on that right now.
Before you go any further, because I know you wear your heart on your sleeve, and I have said to you, what are you doing many times? Because I know how much goes into this social media stuff, and nobody is into it or promotes more good news than I do. But as far as what you do with Instagram and what I'm doing with YouTube, it's a 24/7 life. And if you're in the business, as I am, the electronic media, you understand the significance of the two working hand to hand. But you are a guy who was very successful in real estate. Your lovely bride is extremely successful, one of the top, because of a lot of hard work, real estate agents in this part of the country. So where do you see this, and how can it actually become a business? And how can, if it is a business, people actually help you support with financial backing, with advertising, so you can continue to go out there and paint on this beautiful canvas that is Pittsburgh?
Well, that's a real good question, Rob. I'm glad you asked that.
I'm pretty good at that.
It's years and years of training.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've been doing this since I was 3, I think.
Yeah, right. Yeah, longer maybe.
Yeah.
But really, what Pittsburgh Beautiful is, and I don't think I have to talk about it anymore. It's what's incredible about this area. So any business that wants to put itself in front of potentially 250,000 individuals that follow us is welcome to advertise as long as they meet certain criteria, and that is that they're a Pittsburgh-based business, and that's really the long and short of it. Somebody who wouldn't want to attach their name to a community like this, that highlights the incredible things about this region, and really is, yes, we stay away from negativity. I spend a lot of time deleting negative comments and stuff. Right. I spend a lot of time monitoring that, and I can't get them all because we are the most engaged Facebook page and community in Pittsburgh. There is no other page that gets any kind of any kind of engagement like us. So
have a great day.
All right. Thanks, Rob.
Every morning, learn the issues with the KDKA Morning News. Weekdays 5 to 9.
Coach Tomlin likes to call it AFC North Road Action. We'll take you inside the Steelers locker room.
Plus, it is a pivotal day for health insurance and making decisions for next year. We've got an expert to help you along.
Larry Richard and Sean Shumway and the KDKA Morning News, weekdays 5 to 9. News Radio 1020 KDKA.
Okay. Hey everybody, listen, I want to thank you for watching Pittsburgh Beautiful Live today on News Radio 1020 KDKA and on all of our Facebook pages. It's been a really incredible experience. Rob had to shut me off there because I talk too much, just like I am right now, so I apologize. But if you were listening on KDKA, thanks for that. Keep watching Pittsburgh Beautiful. Keep sharing this with all of your friends. It's nothing short of incredible, and I hope everybody has a great weekend. And don't forget, the pet adoption event down at Murraysville Coldwell Banker on Route 22 in Murraysville from 11 to 2 today. It's incredible, and there'll be some food trucks there. Pittsburgh Beautiful will be there. Lauren Klein, the property diva, my wife, will be there, and you can get yourself a new family friend, a new snuggly little friend. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching, and have a great day.